Welcome to the Hear My Heart broadcast, where I talk about the matters of the heart. You can't understand a person without getting to the root, which is hearing them. I am your host, Tiffany Rochelle, affectionately known as the People's Cheerleader. Here's something I want to share about me. I'm an author, a speaker, a heart and a motivational coach, and I'm so excited that you've tuned in and we have the opportunity to grow together. I'm here to encourage and motivate you to be the best you ever. If you're feeling a little stuck or stagnated, or you're having a hard time getting over some things, please know you're not alone and that you've come to the right place and you're listening to the right person to help you through that. So let's dive into today's show of Hear My Heart. Here we grow. Hey, hello. Yo, my peeps, what is good? I am so delighted that you decided to take a little bit of your time to spend with me and my very special VIP. Let me start by saying this. Please take a moment to like and share this page, please. And I need you to do me a super solid. And you're saying, all right, what's the solid, right? What's the solid, Tiffany? I need you to dig deep and I need you to sow a seed of care into my life by sharing this page. Y'all thought it was offering time and I was about to ask you for some money, huh? No. I just thought I'd ask you to do me a super solid and to share this page. But if you do feel like sewing, you can go to my website and it'll definitely tell you how you can do that. But it's not about money. It's sincerely about sharing. And seriously, I really would love for you to do me that solid and share. However, back to the matters at hand. Okay. So your likes and your comments help me to grow and to help somebody else that's out there. Lots of our friends, they go through things. And there's some things that they go through that they just don't share with us. But by you liking, by you commenting, and by you sharing this particular page, you really could save a life. I know that sounds really extra, but sincerely, because you don't know what someone's going through, you never know whose life you're getting ready to change or whose life you're getting ready to help. So, like, share, and comment on this page, okay? And make sure you're following and turn them notifications on. Ding. Okay, I'll stop being extra, okay? Announcements are through. So please govern yourselves accordingly. And if you were able to finish that statement, you so churchy. Oh, but tell me how churchy you are in the comments, okay? I have a lady here who her voice is the voice for many who feel voiceless. And she has had her fair share of heartaches and pain. And she is breaking the silence. She is being a voice of survivors. And she can do this as she lives to fly and learned to soar. I present to you the queen for the hour. Okay, really 30 minutes. Here she is, Queen Tina.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Miss Tiffany, for this beautiful invite. And I love this, this platform that we have.
You're so amazing, and I appreciate you taking out time to share your story and tell us what's going on with you. I'm so delighted that you decided to do this, and I kid you not, in talking to you, I think you're a super major deal, and I'm ready to step it up, and I'm ready to speak up.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna take that from you. I'm sorry. There, girl, wait, you gonna tell me what is that about behind there, or am I pushing you too fast?
No, you're not. Actually, this is the reason why it's behind me is to get the conversation started, right? We got to have these conversation starters, and this is my prop. First and foremost, step up, speak up, and stand up is all because, as you said earlier, I am now on this next journey of being a second author of a book, Breaking the Silence, Voices of Survivors. And what you will be talking to me about today concerning my life is a former foster child. I basically help advocate for the foster children out there, the voiceless. I am their voice as a
Yeah.
guardian ad litem here in the state of Florida. Hillsborough County is one of the largest in Florida that absolutely believes in helping our foster youth and young children, step up and speak up and stand up for themselves because
Mm-hmm.
they are the voiceless.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you are a CEO also, and part of your company name is SOAR. What does that mean? Tell me your company name and tell me what does SOAR mean?
Absolutely. So Quant is my last name, and SOAR is an acronym. It stands for Seeking Outreach, Assistance, and Resources.
That's that.
Because in my life, being a foster child who actually emancipated from the system in the state of Illinois, and that's huge, by the way, I realized that in order to even do that, I had to seek outreach, assistance, and resources, right?
Okay.
And it correlates with an eagle. An eagle is meant to soar. And
Yeah.
so it just ties right into a beautiful story that my husband stumbled on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
that basically teaches you that with eagles, they mate for life.
Yeah.
And that's all about family, right? When they have their eaglets, is what I call them, they basically nurture them
Right.
for about 36 weeks
Mm-hmm.
together,
Mm-hmm.
taking turns
Mm-hmm.
nurturing these little ones.
Right.
And then once they believe that they're at a state where they are able to soar,
Mm-hmm.
they push them out of the nest. So
Isn't it
it's not an
amazing?
easy experience, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And it's either fly or die,
Uh-huh.
literally, for an
Mm-hmm.
eagle. So
Uh-huh.
the correlation, of course, my heavenly Father is just brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He laid that in my spirit in 2019, and
Mm-hmm.
I just had to make it happen.
And you've been soaring ever since, huh?
Thanks to God, He says, we'll be as eagles.
Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm gonna mount up, okay? So
Yeah,
listen, okay, I ain't gonna start because it don't take much for me to be churchy, and I understand because we've spoken before. It
yeah.
don't take much for you to make me tap in, so I'm a chill.
Right.
I'm a
But
chill.
you're a cheerleader. That's your nature.
It's in my nature. I really can't help it. It's just in me, and everything in me is gonna come out. So hey,
Absolutely.
I really kind of don't apologize for it, but I be trying to pull my own coattail because I be
Yeah,
trying to exercise time restraints. That's the preacher. I said it out
yeah.
loud. It's not. That was in me. So tell me this: you consider yourself to be a survivor, correct? What
Absolutely.
is it that you're a survivor of?
Oh my goodness.
And this is
So
tea that I'm drinking seriously. It's just tea.
I love tea. I love tea. And you're getting some tea from me. All right. So
You caught that.
basically what I survived was foster care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Many people think that once you're taken from your home and removed from your parents, who in my case, my father unfortunately was the abuser
Okay.
towards my mother.
Okay.
And an anonymous call caused us to have to be removed from that home, from that residence.
Okay.
And after being removed, I actually was placed in 8 placements over a period of 14 years,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of those placements weren't as great as a lot of people would expect because it's foster care. You're thinking you're vetting these foster families and you're making sure that everything should be well for this child to be raised in a nurturing, caring environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, when I was placed in certain homes, that wasn't the case. So, what I survived was just giving you some examples. I survived being a witness to a infant who died just inches away from my actual bed. And the baby died of natural causes, but I witnessed the mother weeping. She was a teenage mother who was weeping at the loss of a child, screaming. But
Mm-hmm.
that's trauma, right?
Oh,
And no one came to counsel me or
wow.
my siblings and those of us that were living in that home. No one
Mm-hmm.
came to actually describe to us what even happened. I just see a baby's blue all over, and then they're resuscitating this child on a table.
Wow.
And I'm 13 years young, don't know anything about death, really haven't ever witnessed it.
Right,
And
right.
here it is in my face. And because I shared the room with this mother, no one came to even see about my condition
Wow.
concerning what I've witnessed. And I had
Right.
to stay with this mother as she was mourning all throughout that time.
And you're 13.
And you're 13. And that's just one of many episodes in that one home. There was over 15 people. The
You're saying
caretaker,
1-5.
1-5, no exaggeration.
Wow. Okay.
Wish I was
In one home.
exaggerating. In one home.
Wow. Wow.
And so you have layers of foster children, and all of us are assigned social workers.
Okay.
Except for if you're siblings, then you share the social worker.
Makes sense.
So that's one incident in that home. Then you have a kerosene fire in that home, and we were in attics. And you're familiar with some of the homes in the Midwest. They have the attics, right? And some of the attics has that old, carpet, right? And we don't have the kerosene lamps on top of that carpet. But guess what? That particular family that lived in that attic, one of them smoked. And because she smoked, the cigarette hit, and then the fire ignited. And so we scrambling, trying to get out the house, smoke and everything taken over. And again, this is a trauma because you don't know if you're going to live. You got 15 people to get out one home.
Yeah.
You would think that the social worker would have checked in, checked on, and checked us out.
Too busy.
And you have the unfortunate side where there's combativeness between foster children and homes. And setting in this home was 2 brothers and a sister, and then it was me and my sister, and then there were multiple other families inside this home. But this age range between like 11 and 13, there was a lot of confrontation and conflict. We were made to stay in the basement. And so those are some altercations that took place that weren't pretty at all. And in one instance, I actually had to defend myself, and I felt the need to get a knife to do so.
You're still with a teenager?
I'm a teenager. I'm 13 in this home.
Yeah. Girl. Yeah. I'm about to call you Slice. I'm not.
I just did a threat. I just threatened her, but it was enough to back them down. And then over a period of time, I started going into other homes with my sister where one of the foster parents, her son was a heroin addict. And me, I'm at the age of 14. I don't know that that's not diabetes. I think he's a diabetic, Little did I know he's shooting up heroin. And the way that it came about was he would come in our room when we're not there and steal from us. Meanwhile, she's a bailiff for the Cook County Sheriff. Cook County Courts. Forgive me. She's a bailiff for the Cook County Courts, and she has a lock on her door because she's licensed to carry.
She knew,
but we didn't exactly, and that's the key. That a lot of these homes that we were in, they were not vetted properly.
Wow. They
just vet the person, but they don't vet the actual lifestyle of the parent and the household. And then we go on to another home where I was literally fending for my life. They were actually creating an environment that caused me to, I could have gone malnourished because what they were doing was they were putting rat poison and bleach in my food and preparing it and expecting me to eat it. And the way that I found out was the way the home was designed. It was like a mini mansion. And so you have 2 ways that you can get to the kitchen.
Sure. Okay.
And one occurrence is like my spirit said, don't go this way, and just wait. And that's when I waited and I overheard them preparing my food and saying that put some more. And I can just peek around and I can see them, putting the rat poison in my food and stirring it up, and then putting the bleach in my drink and stirring it up. And then they wanted to calm me down. for the food. So I had to play it off and take my actual food and ask if I can go upstairs because I had to finish an assignment,
Yeah.
and I would just throw it in the garbage. And what will happen is, thank God, I went to the same school as my first cousin and my sister.
Okay. Okay.
I would beg them to have their friends save me their breakfast and their lunch. And
Wow.
that was the only way I was able to eat.
Wow. That's no
And
way for you to have to enjoy your teenage years. I mean, I got my nerve, but that is not how teenagers are supposed to be enjoying their teenage years. Like, I'm not supposed to be begging and pleading and hey, and then going here and there. Like, stability matters. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons why you got into this, so that you can help someone
absolutely.
else
I
be.
mean, you take me from my parents' home, and mind you, there was abuse, but
Mhm.
then you put me in these kinds of environments.
Similar situations.
And so my whole book is about wrong placement.
Mhm.
The theme in my book is
Oh,
about,
that's so powerful. Wait, pause.
hmm
Pause. You said wrong placement?
hmm
Yo, that is such a powerful statement, because do you know how many times we will get into situations and get into places and we ain't got no business being there, but we're going to try to attempt to either enjoy ourselves while we're there, make the best of it while we're there, or be miserable while we're there. But
yeah,
we are in the wrong place. Wow, man, that was such a power. I'm sorry, for me. That did
mhm.
something for me. Thank you. I ain't got my glasses on today, but thank you.
That's
I appreciate
okay.
it.
That's
Wow. Okay,
okay.
I'm sorry. Carry on with your word, but that
That's
just blessed me
right.
right there. That wrong placement. I promise you. I got. Thank God I got a drawer right here. Writing
Yeah,
it down.
it's
Carry on.
happening. Yeah, it's happening all too often. And so one of the aspects of my book, Live to Fly, Learn to Soar, is focusing on the worst kind of victim is the one who creates one.
Mm-hmm,
And just let that settle. The
mm-hmm,
worst kind of victim is the one that creates one. Now I'm
mm-hmm,
going to tie that into how my father was a victim, and you asked the question why. I'll tell you.
mm-hmm,
He was a product of rape. His mother, my grandmother, was raped when she was 14 years old.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And back in those days in the South, Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
you cover that up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they married her off to a widow who
Mm-hmm,
she had babysit for. He already had two children.
mm-hmm.
And they just made sure she got married right away and sent them off. And
Wow.
they moved to Chicago. So
Mm-hmm.
my father never knew his bio dad.
Wow.
Okay. So that's a victim.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
another victim's created. So
Absolutely.
my father goes off to the Korean War. He suffers from PTSD. He's honorably discharged.
Okay.
But when he comes back to the States,
Mm-hmm.
he's violent and
Okay.
he's trying to manage and cope, and he's drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not justifying it or anything like that or excusing it. No, no, no.
But you
But I'm
understand
telling
it
you,
now, though.
yeah, it's perpetuated
Mm-hmm.
by, not dealing with the issues that
Mm-hmm.
originated from the
Right.
beginning. And
Right.
then you segue into my mother, and my mother's background. She was on her way to being an aspiring nurse. And
Mm-hmm.
because of her childhood, her mother remarried after being with my mother's has a twin actually, and
Okay.
their dad. She stopped, their relationship ended, and so she goes on to a new man,
Mm-hmm.
marries him, and has all these kids. But unbeknownst to her, my mom's being molested
Wow.
by this stepfather, and that's a big, you know, you don't discuss that in my family because
Sure.
people are covering for other people. And the
Mm-hmm.
reality is my mother suffered from mental illness. She suffered from schizophrenia and multiple personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about mental illness, one of the things is trauma.
Sure.
It's trauma induced.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother's story never stopped. My mother's story never changed. So this is why I say step up, speak up,
Mm-hmm.
stand up,
Mm-hmm.
because so many times families are keeping these generational taboos or secrets
Mm-hmm.
kept under the rug just to maintain an image
Mm-hmm.
of, respect.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, this scars so many family members And
Yeah.
so we're a product of all of this. So when I say the worst kind of victim is the one that creates one, you're creating more and more
Yeah.
victims
Mm-hmm.
by not dealing with
Mm-hmm.
the matter at hand
Mm-hmm.
and calling it what it is.
Yeah. And it makes sense for you to speak of. That is an amazing story. And I'm saying the word amazing, and I'm not saying like I'm glorifying, like what happened. But you're telling me both of your parents had like a trauma, and then dad goes off to the war, and that doesn't make it any better. And then he comes back and he doesn't know how to deal with it. And you're absolutely right. So many of us get into situations where we don't want to tell anybody certain things, or this is what I'm facing, so I know how to get some help, or hey, I can better help you if I talk to you a certain way. If I just know the word, just for instance, step up, if that's a trigger word for you, I wouldn't know it unless you kind of tell me that. And we have these open conversations. So I need you to speak up and for you to tell me this is bothering you, or this ails you, or whatever is happening. Like,
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing. I have to tell you, I kid you not, from the moment we met, I promise you, I felt like you are a tremendous gift. I'm so sincere about that. There is so many
You.
gifts inside of you that you are sharing, and I'm so grateful that you are. And there are still gifts that are stirring up inside of you even now. And
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful that you're going to embrace those, and that you're about to start sharing those with the world. I see so many wonderful things happening for you. And I just think that
Thank
you're an
you.
amazing individual. And I'm not no prophet. I ain't no psychic. I ain't, going into
Thank
anything
you,
like that.
though.
But your consistency and how you're helping people and how you're showing up for people,
Mhm.
that definitely matters, and it's not going unnoticed. So I want to tell you, I appreciate you. Even just listening to you in, because we've talked.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of your background as to what you've done and how you're helping individuals, I kid you, I'm grateful for it, because
Mhm.
so you are such a voice for voiceless
Thank
individuals.
you.
And listening to what you've just told me now, look at this gorgeous smile you got going on, and how well put together you are. You so
Thank
purty and such. Who would have thought that you had some of these traumatic experiences by what you're looking like now? I would have never, yes, I'm saying it, thunk it. I never would have thunk it.
it's an honor. Thank you so much for the blessings that you've just bestowed on me just by your words have power.
Yeah.
And being here with you, hear my heart. It's amazing that you've given me this opportunity to
Sure.
be able to share this with your family and also those beyond. I do understand that you must be healed
Mhm,
from
mhm,
any trauma,
mhm.
any tragedy that you experience. And so I
Absolutely.
did my work.
Mhm,
Thankfully, my story did not end
mhm,
that. My story was is a product of prayer and
mhm,
faith and perseverance. And let me tell you, my sister, who happens to be my elder sister on my dad's side, he
okay,
actually was married a couple of times in his life before my mom,
okay.
and he had a daughter and a son, and this daughter happens to be the human resources for the very foster care agency that me and my siblings went to visit our parents. So it just so happens her and my social worker were friends,
Mhm.
and she happened to mention that our dad was upstairs because my dad had charisma. He was very, very much a jokester.
Okay.
And once you met him,
Mhm.
that's it.
Just
You
fell in
got to
love.
tell the story. And so she came downstairs to chat it up with my sister.
Mhm.
Unbeknownst to her, that was my sister's last name,
Uh-huh.
but she was using her married name. And she
Sure.
was like, "What did you say his name was?" And when she
Mhm.
told her, she was like, "Girl, that's my dad." She said, "Stop playing with me." She said, "Take me upstairs. I'm going to prove to you that that's
I'm
my
going
dad."
right now. Not
So
now, but
she
right now.
comes upstairs, and after ripping my father up about us being in the system, she was like, "This is the last day y'all gonna be in this system.
Wow.
Do whatever you gotta do. But my
Mhm.
my sisters and brothers are coming home." And
Wow.
she rushed and got her licensing. She actually got a specialized license.
Okay.
To this day, 33 years later, she's still a foster mother and an adoptive mother.
Amazing.
So that's my story. But let me tell you,
Mhm.
God had purpose
Sure he
for
does.
her and
Mhm.
for us.
Mhm.
And that to me was a blessing.
Oh, that is absolutely. So y'all just got some good hearts in your family, huh? Good night. Good night. See, this is one of the reasons why we got to hear your heart, because
Yeah.
your heart is helping plenty of individuals to overcome and let them know that they are not alone in any of the struggles that they face. So
No.
I'm grateful for you sharing your story. Oh my God, how do we get to connect with you?
So I have a website, and my website is www.quantsoar.com.
Okay.
On it, you will learn all about what my efforts are. I'm still in the grassroots stages of
Okay.
Quant S.O.A.R.
Uh-huh.
However, I do believe in just moving forward. And it seems like I have to play catch up with myself because I launched the business in March,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just moving through the whole business
Okay.
practicalities of it. But at the end of the day, I'm here to serve
Yeah.
our aging out youth
Mhm.
who may need assistance with life skills, because that's what it took for me to be who I am
Sure.
today.
Mhm.
And I just love giving back. And I say I want to be that person that my 5-year-old self needed when I was being taken from my family and
Yeah.
I was placed in all these different placements. I want to be that heroine to
Mhm.
my future, children that I'm going to be serving and continue to serve right here in Hillsborough County.
That is amazing. I'm so grateful for you. So you go ahead and
Thank
speak up
you.
with your speaking up self. I love it. I absolutely love it. And if we're going to your website, are we able to find your books as well? Because I know
Yes. So
you don't have a book, you have books.
yeah, well, one is still being written. The second one will be released in December, so that will be also something that people can look out for. I have two websites. I have the website for the organization Quant S.O.A.R, which
Okay.
will absolutely link you to my book as well.
Okay.
But my book, you just type it in, Live to Fly, Learn to Soar. It is on Amazon. It's also on Walmart, Target, and here it is right here, but also Walmart, Target, and books, bookstores abroad.
Okay. That is
Yep.
amazing. So we need to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, for your hearing pleasure, make sure that you go follow Miss Tina, Queen Tina. Make sure you follow her. Are you on? Of course you are on, because we're following each other. Social media, how are we following you?
So I go by my name, Tina L. Horton, Horton, Quant, what you have right here.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes to Instagram,
Okay.
I'm Quant S.O.A.R.
Okay.
And that is at Quant S.O.A.R. I believe I have it down here. No, not down here. But yeah, it's at Quant S.O.A.R.
So
Thank you.
we're getting ready to come to the end of the show. And there's this wonderful game that I think is wonderful called This or That.
Okay.
You ready to chime in and play with me for
Yeah,
that?
let's do it. Let's
So
do it.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and you get the opportunity to pick this or that. And then I want to know whatever answer you decide to choose. I want to know why you chose it.
Okay.
First question, super simple: silver or gold?
Gold.
Why are you choosing gold? What's wrong with silver?
Because my daddy, that's what he walks on up there.
Come
He's the gold.
on. See, wait, no, I ain't doing it.
I'm going to take you there.
No, we ain't doing it. Fall asleep in complete darkness, or are you gonna fall asleep with the lights on?
Oh, baby, I'm all about the dark. I am
You
all,
gonna
because
come
I'm
up
the
out that
light.
darkness? Come
I'm
on.
the light. See how deep I go? I'm the light. So I can handle darkness. And that's a true statement. My husband will tell you, my bill is so low because I don't hardly ever turn on light.
I'm not
Because
mad.
I'm the light.
Come on. Are you the light because the light is shining within you, or because you light skinned? I just want to know. I'm playing.
So what? You red bone. You don't know, just playing. It's within. It's within and it comes out.
I love it. It definitely is coming out. I just want you to understand it is totally coming out. That light that is shine, it can't be hid, sunshine. So I'm just telling you, you're definitely on to something. Okay, last question.
Okay.
Never be stuck in traffic again,
Mm-hmm.
or never get another cold. You thought these was gonna be deep questions, huh?
Oh, girl, it will definitely be never get another cold. I'm all about that elderberry.
Okay. Okay.
All about that elderberry and just preventive maintenance. Because
Yeah.
me and traffic, see, I'm crazy like this. I can listen to your podcast
Uh-huh.
and all the different years of your podcast sitting in traffic, and
Okay.
I get a revelation. You see what I'm saying?
You
Hear
know
my
what?
heart.
I see what you're
Hear
doing
my
here.
heart.
I see what you're doing here. I like where you're going here, Toots.
It's the truth. That's how I roll. Plus, I work from home, so I'm hardly ever in traffic. So what am I complaining about?
Gotcha. So with that, sis, if you're doing it that way, then I'll never want to be sick a day of my life. Makes sense. Totally understood that. Well, I'm so grateful that you're sharing those things. Tell us this. What are your final thoughts? What do you want the world to know in regards to you?
So, what I would like the world to know, if you're knowing someone who's unfortunately suffering from mental illness, the National Alliance for Mental Illness is somewhere that you can actually Google and you can get help. As it relates to my beautiful foster village, my demographic, those are my people, my tribe. I want people to understand that if you are seeking to adopt and or foster, please do your heart inspection and understand all the people that's going to be in that child's life, and definitely make sure it's a loving, nurturing, protecting environment, and they have a voice, and get them a guardian ad litem.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I kid you not. You definitely sparked that back up in me. That's something that I wanted to do many years ago.
Mhm.
And once we connected, I kid you not, I was like, yeah, I think I need to get that started again. So
Yeah.
again, you stepped up. Not only did you step up, you spoke up and you standing up for other individuals,
Yeah.
which made me stand up and say, all right, I need to do something. So
Yeah.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
thank you for your
Queen
heart.
T, hey, I learned to appreciate this heart. It's been through
Yeah.
a lot of things. And before, at one point in time, I couldn't stand it because I'm like, it
Mhm.
forgives too much. And it's so accepting. And I hated it. And I'm just like, I
Yeah.
want to hate people. But it just
Mhm.
doesn't allow me to be that way. And then the minute
Mhm.
that I embraced, you know what, forgiveness is okay, I started
Mhm.
appreciating life. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
this, I like my heart now. Now I do.
Mhm. That's good.
Oh, Ms. Tina, thank you so much. I so
Thank
appreciate you coming on
you.
today's show, and thank you so much for sharing your story. Ladies
Thank
and gentlemen, that is going to be the show for today. I so appreciate you for stopping in. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my very special VIP. Join me next week where I'll be on the same Hear My Heart channel at the same Hear My Heart time. Grace and peace, y'all.